Need expert commercial finance brokers? Real Finance are a national firm led by seasoned bankers, offering unmatched expertise and extensive networks. They understand business and the banking market inside out, using their knowledge to structure and present your borrowing requests for the best income. They have strong relationships with specialist lenders eager to support entrepreneurs and businesses, providing unique and competitive financial solutions designed specifically for you. Ready to elevate your business? Contact Real Finance today and they will achieve your financial goals.
That's it. It's come back.
What is it?
Just learning a lot about myself individually. So, before I'd put a lot of pressure on myself, like this, like my brain farts all the time and stuff like that. And I'd think negatively about myself and it'd bring me down. Right. But now I've kind of just accepted that's me. I'm not the cleverest person in the world. No, like I'm not, but it's okay. And I just manage it differently. Do you know, like, because so basically, if I'd beat myself up about having the brain fog, not always, being overconscious about how I'm coming across and stuff. But
do you not think that's mum brain?
Yeah. And then I just think, well, that's me. That's fine. Doesn't mean I'm not these things. You've got to talk nice about yourself.
Yeah, God, do you know what I mean? You're the last person that I would say isn't clever or isn't.
It's not that I'm not clever. Like, I have to process. I'm a processor. So like sometimes I off the cuff, I don't process things that quick.
Yeah.
I have to plan and I have to be like think about it, and that's okay. That's just how my brain works. But before this year, it used to impact me negatively. I used to look at it in a negative way, thinking, why am I like that? Why can't I do? I just really learn who I am as a person and how to
love yourself
but manage it. Like it's okay to be how I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So welcome to Mums in Property. This is our third episode of Series 1. We're your co-host. So I'm Jade.
And I'm Chloe. Thank you so much for joining us again today.
Yeah.
Today, we just wanted to think about next year, really, didn't we?
Definitely. So it's coming to the end of 2024. I think it's a good time. I know I've been self-reflecting this specifically this week on like how things have gone for 2024 and looking at growth areas and things I need to own in and change and tweak into 2025. So I think it brings a nice little episode, I think.
Yeah, well, the countdown to Christmas is on now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
that's a hard word, isn't it? Christmas. I think it's
drawing in, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But I genuinely, every year, so typically I always went away for Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
With my family growing up and then my best friend as I got older.
Nice.
And me and my best friend, she's like us, she's really ambitious. And we'd always be on our flight home or on our flight out there. We'd sit in the airport and we'd be like, right, what's our goals for this year? And we'd get really excited and egg each other on. And for me, I do find that new year, new goals.
Yes.
I do like to get into that zone. So.
Yeah, me too. I definitely like it. And not only getting into that new zone, I think, like this period now, like for the month of December, I think it comes with great opportunity as well because everyone's winding down and where people are slowing down, I think if you just step it up a little bit more, end the year with a bang on a high. And I've just been trying to really like close everything off now and just push things through because where there's, I think, like I say, there's definitely opportunity. So where people are like slowing down, people are going to think, oh, if putting offers in, people aren't going to expect it and think, oh, it'd be great to get that done before Christmas. So I think it's a great opportunity. I just wanted to add.
Well, yeah, I think for a lot of people, they'd like to finish the year and go into the new year thinking, well, I've had an offer accepted on my property or whatever.
It just finalises and people are at that stage, don't they? Like they want 2024 to be done with.
Yeah, tie up all the loose ends.
That's the way in 2024.
Have you got things to tie up? Do you think you'll get things over the line?
I absolutely have got things to tie up and follow up and stuff like that. So again, we've still got the deal in the Lake District. I'd really like that to be finalised, at least have a clear strong exit strategy, and then we can proceed forward with that. What about yourself?
Yes, I've got things to tie up, things to make decisions on, and then I just really want to get strategic about what next year looks like for me.
Yeah. So in terms of 2024 then, have you done your reflection bit yet? Like, have you?
I've not sat and wrote everything down yet, but when I think about this year, and when I think about where I was this time last year, so I'd not long given birth. My baby was only about 8 weeks old.
Yeah.
And I was going into the new year knowing that I was going to start my property business. I wasn't sure exactly which path I was going to take in property. But I just knew I was very, very determined and knew that that's what I wanted to do. So when I reflect back on the last year, some aspects of it, I think, have gone a little bit slower, but by my own accord, I hold myself back a little bit.
Yeah.
Afraid to take on too much. So it has gone slower, but I'm also happy with how it's gone.
That's good. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? As long as you're happy with like where you've got to, I think that's a really key and nice place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I've just got to remember my circumstances. I've got 3 very young children that are pretty much always with me. So I was never going to start a business and be full-time hitting every goal. So actually, it's worked nicely because I've had another year at home with my children.
That's nice.
Working and building my business around the times that suit me, Ben, and the family. Yeah. And so for that, I feel very, very fortunate, and that we've survived. We've pretty much lived off one salary, Ben's. Yeah. Apart from like this back end of the year when I've started earning. So that I'm happy with. But yeah, when we look back and think, I mean, we didn't even know each other.
It's mental, isn't it? Like our relationship, like even the podcast, like this podcast wasn't on our 2024 roadmap, was it?
No. Was it like October?
Only October.
It come about?
Not even
end of September?
Not even that. November, wasn't it?
No, I think it was about October.
Beginning of November. I really think it was. I don't think it's not been.
Look, we're only the second week of December now. It was
I thought it definitely the beginning of November.
Oh, anyway.
I'm sure it was.
But that only come about, didn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't even something we'd discussed. It just...
You mentioned it from you having your nice break, your spa retreat. And then it's just accelerated, hasn't it? But I think that's a really good point. Like in terms of, for me, when I've been reflecting, like, yes, I've not achieved everything that I set out to. And I guess in 2024, I don't think I had goals, but they weren't really clear cut and specific. I did have some specifics, and I've kind of gone a bit of a squiggly way around it, which is fine again. But in terms of like, I've lost my train of thought.
Because things have come up that you hadn't necessarily planned
right.
for.
Cut back in. So in terms of, so I've had that squiggly type of like year, but then the Mums in Property podcast has come up, and that wasn't on the roadmap. So it's really, really good to go back and just think, got to take opportunities when they come, and it's been great, hasn't it? That an added part of 2024. So.
And what goals had you set then for 2024, and what have you hit?
The main goal was to grow my business.
So did you start your business? I know obviously you've had your portfolio for a long time.
Yes.
When did you actually set the business up?
So the business, so I've always had the business I've had that for quite a few number of years.
Your portfolio, but was it in a business?
It was always in a business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was always in a business. That's been going for quite some time.
Yeah.
But I guess it wasn't really a business. It was assets.
Yeah.
But it was January last year, I thought, right, I'm going to make this into a business, a full-time business with cash, like, you know, the cash flow would replace my income. So yes.
And getting more strategic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what then did you set out for the year? In January, what did you have in mind?
It was to grow the business, but obviously generate that cash flow. And I did want to go into...
And initially, did you think that would be by buying more buy-to-lets, or...?
I don't think I knew.
Okay.
I didn't. So that doesn't mean I wasn't very specific, but I think that was okay. It was okay because I didn't know where my journey was going to go. I didn't set out 2024 with going on mastermind at all. I set off going. I knew I wanted to grow the business, so I found the PIN meeting, so the Property Investor Network. So I found that, and I kind of knew at that point to grow it. But then I think the second one was Phil Saunders there.
Yes.
So I started off going down mentorship with him. So I've always, and I've kind of, the squiggly thing, I've kind of gone back round. So I knew I wanted to get into holiday lets and whatnot. But then I've obviously joined Mastermind, and then I kind of forgot about the holiday lets. And thought, I follow the shiny pennies, do what everyone else is doing, the HMOs, and found that, I will do them, right, but it just didn't. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to do them, but it just didn't sit right at that point.
It's not where your passion lies.
And then I've watched some of my videos of the week, and I'm like, well, I've gone back. So I like the service accommodation holiday lets. I've gone back there.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit of the squiggly.
So that's obviously what's drawing you. Is the holiday lets, the essays.
Yeah.
And like you say, you've gone on that squiggle because Mastermind has probably helped you to get to that point, because it's helped you now to...
Mastermind's really helped me own in and be more specific. So when I got into 2025, this year's my goals are going to be really, really specific.
Yeah.
And I think another one of my goals was just really personal growth, getting more confident in front of people, having those conversations. And I think, if I'm honest, that has been my most successful.
Oh, well done.
What about yours?
And you are, like, seeing you at the PIN meetings and all the events.
A completely different person from...
Well, I didn't know you before,
now.
But I would never think of you not as a confident person.
Really?
You really hold yourself. You network really well.
Must hide the inner the inner bit quite.
That's good, but then that shows then that I look at you as a confident person, but inside you will find that challenging. But you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone. And it's paying off because you're meeting the right people. And not only that, in fact, that's something you've not mentioned.
What?
You're on the PIN team.
Yeah, on the PIN team. Yeah. And in fact, when I got up this morning, this blazer had my, the stickers you get?
Yes.
On it. And I this morning I was like, oh my God, how far have I come? Because I've got my PIN badge.
You don't wear a sticker
anymore.
I'm still in the sticker club.
And I've got my PIN badge. So even just little things like that, that's a great step that I didn't set out to be on the PIN team. I can remember being sat in January at the front of the meeting.
Next to me.
I think, next to yourself. And I'm thinking, I'd love to do something like that, but I can't do something like that. Mindset again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all mindset. Well, that just shows from us joining in January, you're now part of that team. You have those meetings with Paul and Louise and all of those, and you're a big part of that. And then obviously you've got your mastermind.
Yeah.
It is a journey, isn't it? And
it is a journey. And I think property is not get rich quick, is it?
No, of course
and I think
not.
I've seen 2020. I expected 2024 to have an extra 10 properties, something like I just expected to be accelerated a lot more.
Faster.
Yeah. However, for me, 2024 has been about mindset, personal growth. So it's bedding all the foundations down, ready. And I think 2025 is just going to be a different, completely different.
And I think we mentioned this in the last or the previous one. Not to compare yourself.
Yes.
Because it's easy to listen to people's podcasts or to watch webinars or YouTube channels or see other people's journey. And there are some people that may have started last month and they've got more time than you have to commit to property, or they've got less responsibilities like financially, so they can put more in. So don't compare yourself. You're on your own journey, and as long as you're happy with where you're heading, that is the main thing, isn't it? And you've got to push yourself, yes, and you've got to motivate yourself, but not to put too much pressure on.
No,
like just be happy at where you've got to.
And I think in terms of knowing that, I think I've waited a bit too long to self-reflect. Do you know, like I'm only doing the self-reflection now. I think going into 2025, I want to do that on a monthly period.
Yeah, a regular basis.
Yeah, just so I'm not too late to the party. If I am reflecting, I'm not doing something that I need to be doing or not doing as much, I can change it quicker.
But I think you'll pick up on it quicker now because it's very hard when you start out, isn't it? There's so much to hear, see, do, and you're meeting so many connections. Like you just want to spend time with everyone and hear everyone's advice and hear their stories. Whereas when you sort of not stop that, but you've kind of done a lot of that and you pause, you can actually reflect a lot easier because you've made those connections now. You know who to call to ask about such and such a thing. So I think reflecting will come, and because you've grown anyway as a person, you've kind of narrowed your path down a bit more.
The thing that I've grown the most in the personal growth is accepting who I am.
Yeah.
I think you know, like you talk, say I come across confident and things, but in my head I've got that self-doubt, and I'm an overthinker, overanalyzer, so I'm always overthinking like how I'm coming across. Could I done something different? And that's all good, but I do it too often, and I think
too critical of yourself.
And you know, I mean, for me, how I am, like I would. I think negative thoughts about how I perform. So what I've done, I've changed those negative thoughts into positive thoughts and be kind to myself.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, oh, why aren't I like that person? Why can I not go into a room? Why can I not think on the spot? Because for me, I've learned who I am as an individual, and that I am a processor. I'm probably not fast thinking all the time, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to do things for
Your
me
way.
and just that accept, and that's absolutely fine. Know what your strengths are,
yeah,
and my strengths are, and work on them.
And also, like, you have got to love yourself first. It's hard, and I do think as a mom as well, it's so much changes. Like, you're only 5 years in to being a mom as well. Like,
I thought you were going to say you're only 5 foot.
I mean, I'm only 5'3", so I'm not much better.
Don't know why the height came into it then.
I'm not a heightist.
Why did that come into my head then? Anyway.
But you are 5 years into being a mom.
Yeah.
I'm like 4 years into being a mom. It's still very early stages. Your body goes through so much.
Yeah.
You change completely as a person. Mm-hmm. Everything who you are is completely different prior to when you were a mom. So it's hard to love yourself, isn't it?
It is.
And it's hard to remember who you are because you're still an individual.
Yeah.
And I think probably only now that Ellis is 5, you're starting to come out that other end a little bit and starting to remember, no, I'm me.
Yeah.
This is what makes me happy. This is who I am. And you start to learn about yourself a bit more.
Absolutely. So for 2024, what's been your greatest achievement?
I think just getting up and getting started. Because I do think it is hard, isn't it? And there's a lot of women in our position that maybe wouldn't want to do what we're doing.
Yeah. Or just don't know, I guess, not do it, but they're struggling where to start, and thinking they're not at the right stage and part of the life and things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
You just got to do it, haven't you? We
both started when Enzo and Lowen. I mean, Lowen was only 8 weeks when I started going to the networking, and it is hard, and you've got to put yourself out there, and you've got to commit, and you've got to be consistent.
Your comfort zone, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm proud of myself just for doing that. I said to Ben, I'm going to start the property business, and I have.
Amazing.
So I'm proud. Even if that was all I'd achieved, that is a good achievement, and like you said in the last episode, we've got to celebrate those small wins.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy about that. I've done some courses. I've met so many. Honestly, the connections I've made this year, like yourself, have been amazing, and they are what have made my journey. I'm really happy with all the people I've come across and connections for life. I think, yes, some aspects have been slower. I've held myself back a little bit. Sometimes I'll take 2 steps forward, 5 steps back.
Yeah.
But I've been working with some really great bespoke investors. I've got some really good projects going into the new year that I'm excited about. So that pace is working for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to be selling X amount of deals a month. I could sell more if I wanted to, but I'm doing the pace and workload that suits me and my family at the moment. And I think, just looking back, a bit like what you've said, it's been the year of personal development for me. I think just like you, started the year, done property, but didn't know exactly what strategy I wanted to go down. Everything was exciting. Everything works. There's so many great courses, and I would love to do every single course.
Yeah.
And it's just been about not rushing into everything.
Yeah,
and
there's so much time to do everything else, isn't there, as well? Yeah.
Just taking it all on board and just taking it in my stride, just taking it all in. So just working on myself, getting into, I suppose, a routine, like we said before, about organisation and yeah. And what days that I do my viewings, days that I do my follow-ups, days that I do my investment packs. So that in itself is a task because you're putting processes into a business, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
Strategic, is it? I can't say it.
Strategic.
Strategic. Strategic.
Strategically.
Yeah, or strategizing. No.
Strategize.
Oh God, I don't know.
Anyway, getting strategic
Yeah.
and putting process into place, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I am happy, but I'm excited.
Good.
I feel like next year will be the year of like growth and cash flow.
You've done all the foundations. Foundations are laid.
Yeah.
And then you can kick off.
And you can build on it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about, because obviously you're what now, about 9 months into Mastermind?
Yeah, so I finish.
So this, for anyone that doesn't know, is
12-month mentor. It's not a 12-month program that Simon Zucci runs for the Property Investor Network, which is, I mean, it's incredible. And you know, when you speak to ex-masterminders, they're like, this is, you know, talking about personal growth. It's not so much about, yes, you do learn about property, but when I've been reflecting, it is all about mindset, personal. You're on that personal growth journey. Yeah, absolutely.
And do you think then that has improved your mindset?
Absolutely. Like, without knowing as well, like I'm a positive person, definitely a positive person anyway, but I did have a lot more tendencies to have those negative thoughts. And even the littlest negative, not negative, but speaking about situations probably in a bad tone or something, and that sets the scene, doesn't it, for everything else?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely learned a lot, and I think I'm overall more positive. I think about things in a different mindset.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And how do you feel then about Mastermind coming to an end? Like, that must be.
Do you know what? I am sad about it coming to an end because I think we've got such a close community, which has been great. And I'm kind of a bit wary that what's going to happen. Like, we're going to have that support there and stuff but how I see it, we'll still stay together. We'll have that with the groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm excited at the same time because I think once that finishes, that's my time then really now to implement and grow. There are other stuff that I do want to go on to. So I want to go on to Dan Hill's Property Entrepreneur because it's like a 12-month program as well, isn't it?
That's the one that I wanted to start in October.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel I was ready for it. And I had to make a decision then. Yeah. I will sign up like you. I will sign up for every course financially if I could.
Yeah.
But I had to make that decision and think, right, it's not the right time for me.
And that's it. I don't think it's not one of those courses that you do at the beginning of your career.
No. Because it's all on business.
It's all on your business and stuff like that. I don't know. It all depends on one of the deals that I've got in the pipeline. So that wedding venue.
Yeah.
If that gets over, if we secured that and everything's finalised.
You'd like to do.
I think I need to do it.
Yeah.
I think it'll help because it's a business. It'll just help go through the different seasons and structure it. I think I need that. But if not, I might have a 12-month break.
Yeah.
And then
go
for it. Yeah. But even though the mastermind's coming to an end, we still get our coaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's good.
It's for the first time I've done it, so we're getting an extra 12 months. So I've still got that accountability, and I've got a great relationship with Rob. I mean, me and Rob get on so well.
Rob
McFun.
Right, okay.
So we get on great, and yeah, so we're still going to be accountable. So I am sad, but excited at the same time. Yeah, and we go skiing in March as well.
Yeah. So that's a nice way to finish with a bang.
It is. I mean, I can't ski or snowboard. So that'll be interesting.
Just don't drink wine and you'll be fine.
You see, I praise.
My friend has a saying, no whiny, feel finey.
I think I need to take that phrase. So what about you? Like, what's your next, 2025, what is one of the things that you want to achieve? Like, what's one of your goals? Have you even got there yet? Do you know?
So I want to be more consistent with my cash flow.
Okay.
I need to be more consistent because a lot of it at the minute is on Ben. So I need more consistency with the cash flow, which will then take the pressure off. I mentioned before, I feel like I do need to start building a portfolio, whether I start off small or whether I just go straight in with like the HMOs. That's something that I'm weighing up at the moment. So if I was to say my ideal 2025, it would be to complete end to end on 2 HMOs for myself. So that would be them like fully tenanted. The 2 bespoke investors that I'm working with, that I've got their project management to go through as well. So again, get theirs end to end and then be really happy with that. That would be great. Continue building on my relationships.
You're really good at that though.
Yeah, I am.
I think it's one of really your strong points, building those relationships and nurturing them as well. I think you're really good at checking in and
I want to build on that. And then I suppose I want to get
when you say build, you just mean build your network of connections or get better relationships.
I think probably just keep on nurturing them more.
Okay.
And I think one of my key targets would be to get more, rather than me going out and finding deals.
People coming to you.
Yeah, I want to be the go-to person where, whether it's the agents or other property investors or just people that I know say, oh, I've got a property or I've got a commercial unit. Do you have anyone in mind?
Yeah.
And then I've got the investors lined up, because that's the side I've got. I've got investors lined up. I've got more investors wanting to work with me at the minute.
That's amazing.
That I'm sort of too scared to take on.
Yeah.
Because I want more deals. So I want more deals to come to me. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. And then so that I'm not having to go out.
That will naturally come, won't it, as well?
Yeah.
I think the more you get out, like doing the podcast and things like this as well, and creating the community, people will naturally come.
Yeah. And already agents do. I've got like 3 agents at the moment that will WhatsApp me and say, they've got this coming on. It will be going on to the open market, but they'll send it me ahead.
A bit of a pre-warning,
I'll run the numbers and I'll say yes or no. And so that's great. So I just want more of that and more, just more. I want to have that consistent pipeline. I come from a sales background anyway, so I'm used to always having a full pipeline of deals. So rather than me going out and hunting, I want the deals to more naturally come to me. And again, then that will free up a bit more of my time to push my business in other directions. Amazing. So it's not only building my relationship with the investors, that I feel I've got a nice network of investors now that I know what they want.
It's not about how many investors you have. You just need some really good connections and good investors that reinvest. Don't you?
And I've got about another 4.
Amazing.
That I've not actually signed them up as bespoke. Because I don't want to overcommit to them.
They're just there if something passes through and if you see something. Yeah. Did that guy get in touch with you?
Yes, he did actually. I need to phone him on Monday.
Just take a £50 fee, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I need to phone him on Monday.
Yeah.
So there's like, there's more actually. Yeah. But I need to, I've lost my train of thought now. So I've got people that I know what they're looking for. As soon as the right thing comes along, I'm not someone that finds deals every day and posts them in a Facebook group. That's not what I work on. I prefer to work on a one-to-one, and then I know if something comes up, I know who I can think of that would maybe be interested. So for me, it's about getting more deals coming to me.
Yeah, I love that.
That would be that. I'd say that's my main goal actually.
Fab.
And then from this aspect, like we spoke about before, possibly doing an event, I think that would be great.
That's definitely on mine, yours, jointly, roadmap for 2025.
And then also, we've been invited on a few podcasts, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. So we need to follow up on those and get them booked in.
Obviously, we've been on one podcast and then we've got like 4 invites on others. So that's, that in itself is a big achievement.
Great achievement. And we're not even been going that, is this 3rd?
And it's not even launched yet.
Exactly.
So so that's great, I think.
Yeah. Would you have done anything differently in 24?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What would I have done differently? So I think I found the hardest thing is getting clarity.
Yeah.
Getting clarity on what I want to do, how I want to do it, how I want to work. And then, as I say, because I'll take some steps forward and then I doubt myself, so pull myself back. So maybe just rather than thinking I have to be up and running, I think I remember Paul Hastings actually saying this. Yeah. He said he'd been going to PIN meetings for like 18 months before he did his first deal. And I think he just took it all in, made the connections.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe what I would have done, rather than saying, this is what I'm doing, this is my business, just sort of go with no intention, just go to connect and meet people.
But you say that, but then if you did do that, would you saying you not had that clarity and that clear,
Yeah.
would you have got, is that like, yes, you're right, you've had your goals that probably been a bit squiggly, but if you didn't have them, do you think?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I suppose you have to give yourself some timeline. Because
Yeah,
it'd be easy.
otherwise you'll just keep being a serial, like going on courses
Yeah.
and you're not holding yourself accountable, I guess.
And I could do that easily. If I had the money, I'd go on courses all the time.
Yeah.
But then would I actually progress the business? I'd just keep doing courses. So, and I suppose that's the same with networking. You can keep networking, keep going to events, but you've got to action, haven't you?
Yeah. And just touching on that, you know, like in terms of the relationships, and you're saying you're nurturing them, it's, you know, like, you know, talking about things being slow and things like that. I mean, I went on a course, like there's relationships that happened early on in the year, but the relationships are only really coming into fruition now.
Yeah.
So it just takes time, doesn't it? Like we've got some great conversations coming up and meetings with connections, haven't we, later on, but I don't know where I'm trying to go with it, but I'm just saying, like, so the connections you've had earlier on, they come into play, don't they, at different
at the right
part.
time.
Yeah.
When's meant to be the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think for both of us, it's been a big learning year, hasn't it? But we've made lots of good connections.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I am.
Well, I suppose for you obviously, I don't know if you'd have planned to have a business partner.
No, really didn't.
That come about through Mastermind, didn't it?
Yeah. Again, I guess it's like taking opportunities when they come. That wasn't on part of my roadmap for 2024.
Yeah, because your business was already existing. So I bet you didn't think, I need a business partner.
Exactly.
But it's a different business.
It's a different business. So yeah, absolutely. And I think, I was trying to think, would I have done anything differently in 24? I think I would have, so, you know, being on Mastermind.
Yes.
I don't think, I'm always an action taker, and I've taken action at the right times, but there are some things I've probably done a bit backwards.
Okay.
And
like what?
Just kind of like landlord letters and things like that. I did do them, but I delayed it. I didn't do it at the point. And I think if I had just done everything at that right time, might have been a couple of months ahead.
Okay.
I think. I do.
So this is direct to landlord?
Direct, yeah. So, you know, like saying, like getting people to come to you. I think just like probably marketing probably a little bit.
Yeah.
I think my marketing's come later down the year. But again, I think that's fine because it just happened naturally.
Yeah.
When I've learned about me as an individual. So
and the right tactics to...
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there's all different types of marketing you can use, can't you?
Yeah.
And
I wish I'd have got clearer on my direction sooner. But again, it just happened naturally.
And that's probably just half of the journey, isn't it? I think everyone starting out says the same thing. It's getting
clarity in where you want to go. But
because it's so easy with the shiny penny, isn't it?
It is.
And because you go into so many events and things, you hear of lots of different strategies. Mm-hmm. It's hard to know which is the right one for you until you do one.
And I think for me, you know, like you say, like time, like things have taken. I feel like things have taken a really, like, longer than so I'm not even completed yet on one of the properties that I'm buying. That's nearly taken a year.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like, that's just mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's been, a lot's been relying on that deal. So that's delayed.
You've had a lot of challenges with the bridging with that, haven't
Exactly.
you?
So it just not delays everything else, doesn't it? But again, it's great learning. And I think, I don't think, as well, like with time, I was speaking to Rob, other people are starting to do deals, but they're probably quicker deals.
Is this people from the Mastermind?
Mastermind, yeah. But I keep having to be told, but your deals aren't little.
Yes, they're big.
The big deals.
So what kind of deals are people on? How many people are on the Mastermind?
Oh, you're asking me a question now.
Roughly.
25.
Oh, okay. I was going to say like 50.
25, 30 maybe.
And So
And that's a
on
nice number, you know.
MM35, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you mixed with 3.4 or 3.6?
34's finished now.
Okay.
36 has just started.
So do they integrate with you?
No, but we do go on a couple of calls to get, like we do see each other type
Okay, so
things.
do they do a different day?
They do the Saturdays.
Ah, right, okay.
So 34 was a Saturday.
35
35
was
is
the
a Friday. And then 36 is a Saturday. Is that
Okay.
right? And then 37, that'll be
Will Friday.
Yeah.
And so there's about 25 in your group. So what kind of deals? So did people...
People are all different stages. So there are people in there doing big deals, good deals, but they're different. They're a lot further on in their journey.
Yeah.
So it's all relative.
Yeah.
There's people right at the start. There's people with money. There's people not with money. It's just a whole variety of different. Yeah.
And do you think it's been worth it, the course?
Absolutely. Like, yeah. There's no question about it. I think the value that I've got out of it, and the mindset, the business partner, just a network, that community, and just, I
think that says a lot, because I mean, I know how much you paid for that course, and that must have been very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Or a huge, not only you decision, a family decision between you and Dom to decide, okay, can I spend this money on me? On my development, not a house, on my personal development.
And that's the thing, I could have bought a house with the money that I've put into the thing, but the reason why I did it was to grow faster. And I think, talking about accelerate it, yes, all right, this year hasn't been as fast as I liked, but like I said, it's done the foundation, and it's got all the skills, and I've got the network to now grow a lot faster. Otherwise, I've been going off solo.
With Mastermind.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that little bit of extra credibility.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
That you've learned from the best people, and it's really good.
100%. I think the credibility. Yeah. So I think for you now to stand here and say, I spent that amount of money, I'm coming to the end of it, and that was worth it.
Yeah.
That does feel good.
It does feel good, because you do, like at the start of it, think, oh, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah, question yourself.
Yeah, but absolutely. And
talking
that's
about put a lot. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
but also that shows you as a person taking action, because that would hold a lot of people back.
Yeah.
Because they'd have that cost mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a hard decision for me to make with my financial situation, to think, can I spend that amount of money right now?
Yeah.
And I would diver and think, oh, shall I, shan't I? What shall I do?
Yeah.
And you just took action.
For me as a person, I just have to make a decision, block everything out, and just go with it, and then just hope for the best.
Yeah. And
otherwise, I am so indecisive sometimes. I don't think that comes through my business, because I am indecisive outside of work, but I have to just make it and run with it.
Yeah.
And come with ride the wave that comes with it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm pleased that you feel like that about it, and that it's been a good decision and you're happy with it.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
So what goals then do you have maybe
for next year?
Yeah, for your goals for next year, but also like relating maybe personal, family.
Okay. Be more present.
Yeah.
That is a goal. Be more present, and I now need to start clawing back my time. I think this 12 months has been very time intensive and onerous.
Yeah.
Now it's a time about getting that, like you mentioned, about getting cash flow. The main priority now is cash flow.
Yes.
Cash flow, nurturing.
Cash is king.
Cash is king, absolutely. Nurturing the relationships that I've got. And also now I need to be, one of my goals is to put myself, I'm looking to work with investors. I need to be putting myself in thinking how they think and where they will be. I need to be kind of reaching out now and targeting people that connect with my values and whatnot to kind of move that forward.
And what kind of investors then are you looking for? Like what would align with your projects and your values?
I think I'm quite open-minded. I think because with where I am, my projects are a bit here, there and everywhere. There's not a clear, yes, I've got the holiday lets, but there's also other stuff in the background that I'm working on as well. I think type of person I'm looking for is like time poor, probably not got, they've got money that they need to invest, but they want to go into property, but they've not really got the training and do you know that type? So probably a bit cliche, but time poor people who want to invest, or even people that want into joint venture. Yeah, they want to learn along the way. Earn and learn. Yeah, so that's kind of what
good.
I'm looking for.
And then you can offer that with your experience. Yeah, and they can actually zone in on your like mastermind skills that you'll bring to a deal as well, can't they?
That's a really good shout. That's something I can give back, isn't it? Share
like your advice. Yeah. I was thinking about the other day as well. Obviously, with us building this community, like at the minute, I'm working with like overseas investors and working with investors from London, but actually probably going into the new year as well, to use this platform. Yeah. If there's mums out there either wanting to invest in property, maybe their background, they've just fell across our podcast because they're friends of ours, family of ours, or friends of friends, and they've, like what you've just said, they've got money to invest into property, but they maybe don't want to do it themselves, or they don't know where to start because they're a mum, whether that's that they want to get started in sourcing and we could maybe partner in some way, or they would like me to source a property for them and help them, because I can sort of offer a consultative base.
I'd love that.
And help them from end to end with the whole refurbishment. And again, a bit like an earn and learn.
Earn and learn, yeah.
You don't have to pay like a fee as such, but I can guide you through that process. And so, I think for me it would be working with the mums community that we're going to build. Yes. And hopefully be a bit of a guidance to other mums and show them that you can do it, and we can sort of like help with that.
Another one of my goals would be to really make sure the mums in property takes off. I think the main goal is setting up that community WhatsApp and the retreat as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like that.
It's just nice, isn't it? I feel like even just being here today, it's like therapy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's like all the emotions that you maybe can't talk with your partner or your family or your friends. Yeah. Having that person to talk with and get it all off your chest, realise that other person is going through it.
It makes you think about things that you've actually done that you haven't. I mean, sorry, that you've forgotten about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could sit with like your friendship group and say, oh yeah, well I went to an event, and they'd just be like, because they might not ever go to networking events, and they probably don't realise what a success that is, or the impact, like you said, by having that confidence of walking into a room of 70 people that you don't know and walking around and just introducing yourself to everyone. So unless you're with people that have done that, it's hard to understand what's the word? What impact that's had or how you've achieved it, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah, it does. It does.
So I think growing the community and obviously let us know your thoughts. Anyone listening, if there's stuff that you want us to cover on this podcast, or if
even like, are there any guests that you want to get on?
Yeah,
like would they like us to get on the podcast?
Because we have been in touch and we've actually had quite a lot of interest for guests, haven't we? We're just trying to configure that
and line it with each of the diaries, isn't it? Getting people. Yes. Everyone's so busy.
Yes.
It's like aligning their availability, our availability, the studio's availability. It's a bit of a matching up.
But if there is any guests that you would like us to potentially get on, then let us know. Yeah. Any topics you would like to cover, and just give us feedback, because we want this to be something for everyone. It's not just therapy for us. As much as that's nice. Yeah. We want it to be a real community that brings value,
and that's the key, isn't it? It's got to be. We want to give that value, isn't it? So we need to be delivering what people want. Yes. So I think feedback.
The only way we can do that
is with fun feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. Constructive feedback is more than welcome.
I'll always take not criticism.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Yes.
I'm always open for that.
So more present with your family life.
Yep.
And any big trips or anything planned for next year?
Any big trips? I've only got the skiing trip.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which is networking as well. Yeah. So that's part of the businessy side. There's some great people going on to that. So again, met
And
on
it'll be fun and a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, just celebration for that year, definitely. What else for 2025? So be more present. The podcast, make sure that we grow that and kick that off. Secure an investment. That's got to be like, I've got all these great deals now. It's really got to own in on the investment. And like we mentioned it, the cash flow, but that'll come from securing the investments. They're my main ones.
I know something actually.
Brand. Again, continue to build my personal brand
awareness
and the business brand. Yeah.
I know something that I've not mentioned that I was really proud of this year. It just reminded me because I saw someone else put a post last night about it on LinkedIn. I got my grant.
Oh yeah.
So
that's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, and it did. Again, that took me a long time just by my own admission, just swapping and changing my mind with it. But yes, I applied for a local council business startup grant.
Mm-hmm.
Within my council, you can have been within as long as it's within the first year, and they match whatever you put in up to a certain amount.
Right.
So you have to do a full business
Did you have
plan.
to put some money in then to it?
Yeah. So how it works is you get assigned a business coach. You have sessions to uncover like what the grant will pay for, what it won't pay for. So it won't pay for like property.
Yeah.
It won't pay for vehicles. There's certain like stipulations.
Yeah.
But then whatever they agree the grant for, so with my council is up to £20,000.
Right.
And they will, so then if £20,000 say gets approved, they will pay 10,000 and then you pay 10,000.
Right.
And within your business plan, you will have put specific items and the specific place.
So they don't put 20,000 in. It's a split.
It's a split. Yeah, it's a match. So basically, I think mine come to 14,000.
Right. Okay.
And that was things like a website, uniforms, an iPad. Logo design, brand awareness, like things like property filter.
Yes.
So certain software, my CRM system. Yeah. So what we put in, so you have to be specific where you're getting it from, like the company, the cost. You have to, in some instances, like with property filter, I had to give an example of another. You have to give like 2 comparables basically, and why that is going to help improve your business. Like, why is that an important tool for your business? And then, you put it all obviously onto this spreadsheet. You do a full 2-year cash flow. And then if it gets approved, and they go through it line by line. So they might say,
that's okay, that's not.
That's not, So I did have a couple of things that weren't.
What did they take off? What was...
things like the PIN membership I'd put on.
They took that off?
Yeah, because it's networking and they don't cover networking for some reason. I'm not sure.
They don't give an reason why. They just struck it off.
Yeah, they don't do it. So the PIN membership I'd put on, and a couple of events that I'd put on. In fact, Property Magic Live.
They didn't accept that?
No, they didn't accept that.
That's training as such. You could put that through.
Yeah, but only training that is accredited training can go through.
Okay.
So there are stipulations, and obviously each council will be different as to what they allow.
Yeah.
So some councils might allow networking. But anyway, my total came to 14,000 and they are paying... I will buy the stuff and then you put the claim in and they will pay me back half of that. So £7,000.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's stuff that I would have had to
pay anyway. So it helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's £7,000 invested into my business.
With that then, so if you already have a business and set up a new business, does that count? Or
yeah, absolutely. It's whatever. It's based on like the business itself.
Right. Okay.
Not based on you as a person.
Yeah.
So if you yourself have got 5 businesses, you could apply technically for 5 grants.
Right. Okay.
Because it's based on that business need.
I'm thinking then, because I've got a couple of.
Yeah. So it's really, really good. And as I say, each council is different. And I know I've mentioned this at like PIN before. So if anybody does want any help and advice on it, then please do reach out to me and I'll help guide you. But it's worth it. My council is within the first year of startup. Some councils might be a little bit more, some might be a little bit less.
Yeah.
But definitely, I would say it does take time to put the plan and everything together, but really you should have these things in place anyway.
Yeah.
So once you've done it, it's just good for your business. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Even if you might not need as much as 7 or 14,000, you might just need a laptop. You might just want a hoodie.
Yeah.
And this and that. So it doesn't have to be as big as that. It can just be what your business needs.
I just had a light bulb moment while you're talking. So I was thinking for this as well, like for mums in property.
Yeah, exactly.
Something to explore, isn't it?
Yeah. So as long as it's a business that makes money, and you can show how that makes money and how you're going to add value to the community in terms of growth and obviously I suppose it comes down to whether you want to future employ people, etc. Then that's what the council are looking for. And every council has a pot of money. It's there to be used. Yeah.
And if I guess if they don't use it, they'll just lose it, won't they? They'll go on to something else. Yeah.
It gets funded for a year at a time. So
that's amazing.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone thinking it like over Christmas and New Year now, if you're thinking about your New Year plans and you've been thinking about building a business or starting a business, but money is holding you back, there are lots of options out there. Look at the grants. There are also like startup loans and things like that to help you get started. So don't feel like you've got to fund it all yourself. There's options and just get started really.
Yeah. Just taking that first step, isn't it? And just going with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go and get it done.
Go and get it done. Take the action. If it's just get it done.
Yeah. And then thinking about like my family goals for 2025, exactly like you, I've got to be more present. Yeah. I have got a bit of a phone addiction and I think
everyone has.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
It's bad.
But Ben, he's not like that. He walks from one room to another and leaves his phone. I'm like, where
who does that?
He's like, he can just not go on his phone all day.
Yeah.
He's not bothered about his phone at all. So then to him, I'm like a phone addict.
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think you should have a separate work phone to your personal phone?
So I always have.
Do you?
In employment.
Okay.
So I've always been in a sales field role. So we've always had like company cars, company laptop, company phone. It used to drive me mad. So in the early days, I actually then just scrapped it and just had
That's what I do,
phone.
just one phone.
But then
it makes it hard to just like you get tempted then, don't you? Because it's on both, on one.
Yeah, I think it depends if it's your own business or if you work for someone. I think if you work for someone, I did both. I had my own phone and then I didn't. I think it's better to keep the two separate.
Okay.
If it's your own business, I think just have one phone. You cannot also set up two numbers on one phone.
Can you do that on an iPhone as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So you can set up, and I've thought about that.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I'd get so slack with that though. It's like, I want that separation, but I know it's that busy.
Yeah.
I won't be fully.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
You want to know what's going on.
Yeah. A bit of a control probably thing that, isn't
it?
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. No, but I've got everything on the one.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked the question, I'm thinking, do I need, in order for the boundaries and going back to the last episode on like the mum guilt, and do I need to set two phone? I have two SIMs, just kind of keep it separate and to go into 2025 goals to give back that time.
Yeah. And then put the work phone.
Yeah. I'm going to map it all out for 20.
But whether it was work or just your own personal phone,
you're still going to be on it.
You're still going to be tempted, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think it's not whether it's work related or not, it's whether you can just put the phone down.
Yeah.
And I think what you do, putting it on aeroplane mode,
is good.
Yeah, that's a good start, and leaving it in another room.
Yeah.
Because for me, it'd just be the temptation of the phone.
Yeah.
Not because it's necessarily work or not because it's my friends texting me.
Do you know one thing I would say as well? So I was listening to Dan Hill's podcast the other day.
He's big on this, isn't he?
Yes, and it's not about the phone and stuff, but I was going to say, if anyone's got any time over the, probably when this launches now, it's going to be after Christmas, but in that New Year period in January, the Dan Hill scorecard, if you go onto his podcast.
Yes. Yeah, I've done that.
You can go onto that, and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I've done it. It's good.
Have you done it? But I think what I'm going to do it like this week is because it's the scorecard, and it kind of scores like what would you call it? The life,
I think it does
like family, like where your family, your business,
quadrant.
What would you call it? That
elements
of like your overall life, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
But anyway, it's free.
Yeah.
You can go online on the podcast on the link and just map out. And I think I know where my development areas are going to be.
Yeah.
But I'm going to map that out.
Yeah.
Using that, and then I can focus that, and build some more goals into 2025 to say, right, look at the focus areas. I think that would be a top tip for anyone struggling or not clear of what they want to do for 2025 or in any shape or form. Go and do that, and it'll help.
And on that, how do you actually track your goals? Do you track them, or like what do you do?
In terms of what do you mean? Do you like just
so if you set your goals now for 2025?
Yeah.
How do you
know that I've achieved them?
Do you just look back at the end of the year?
To be fair, I've not done anything.
Monitor them.
Yeah, I've not been. This year, I've not done anything fancy. And I think I could get a bit more strict on it. I think what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to map it out properly. Like do a proper business plan.
Yeah.
With my goals. And then, like I said, I want to, rather than reflecting at the end of the year when it's too late, I want to do that month-on-month reflection. Yeah. And then I've got time to tweak things. And then I'll be able to adapt. Exactly. And then I'll know exactly where I am. And I guess you've got to be kind to yourself. Not every month's going to be you're not going to achieve everything, are you?
And like you said, sometimes your path goes off a little bit, doesn't it? You go off piste.
Yeah, a squiggly line I like to call it.
See, because my sales roles, I've always worked to targets anyway, and I've always been on, we would always have monthly targets, but it was the main one as long as you hit your quarter. So I sort of always break mine into quarters and segments. So I'll always, 1st of January, my goals will be up on the fridge for everyone to see. That's good. Always do that.
I need that, but my fridge isn't. Mine's integrated, so
mine is, but the hinges aren't on at the minute. But I did think this the other day. I was like, when the joiner comes and puts it on, where am I going to stick my goals?
Yeah. Why are you going to do it?
Do you know what I
think? Get some blue tack and just stick it on.
No, I think what I will do is on the inside of the tea bag cupboard.
Do you go to that cupboard the most?
Yes. I love a cup of tea. So I think for me, and also that's the cupboard in my house that all my family go to. Yeah. Anyone that comes round makes themselves a cup of tea. So everyone, so it's more accountable because everyone
can see it.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I liked about the fridge. Everyone there was no hiding it. Everyone saw my goals. Yeah. I even made Ben put some on that I pretty much made up for him because he was like, I don't know, I don't have any goals. But so I think, the cup of tea cupboard probably be the best one for me.
Amazing.
And it'll not get torn down by the kids because they can't reach it.
They'll just get a stool, won't they?
Yeah, they haven't tried that with that one. They only get a stool to the snack cupboard.
Ah, okay.
They're not bothered about the cup of tea cupboard.
Ah, okay.
There's nothing interesting in there. So, and then... Yes, but again, like you, I need to be a bit more stricter. Yeah, I've always been strict tracking them, but this year I haven't as such because I've kind of give myself that leniency. Yeah. But I need to break my end goals down into quarter segments. Yeah, and before the end of the quarter,
review it,
adjust it. Yeah. And if you need to make amendments going into the next, because it needs to be realistic. There's no point in setting yourself unrealistic targets.
It needs to be realistic, but stretched.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere if you don't push yourself a little bit out of the comfort zone. It's got to be uncomfortable, hasn't it, to grow?
Yeah, because you need them time frames. You need motivation. Yes. So it's a mixture, isn't it? And I'm also even going to, over the Christmas period, I'm literally going to sit down, look at the calendar for the year, look at all the events. Yeah. Because now I know what those events are. Obviously in January we didn't, and you just kind of find out about them month by month. But I'm going to write down all of the events.
Get organised.
Yeah, the ones that I definitely absolutely want to go to, like Strategy Implementation Live, Project Magic, all of those that I didn't get to last year. Write them all down, put them in my calendar and have a clear view and plan. A bit like we said before,
I'm going to buy an actual paper calendar.
Ben got me one for my birthday.
Really? I want one. I'm going to...
I've not put it up yet.
To get any Christmas money, I'm going to get that. And then just to be, to see, like you said, see it and visual.
That's a good point. Yeah, he bought me one of them photograph ones.
Yeah.
It started in October.
Okay.
So I've wasted 2.5 months. Yeah, I need to get it up when I get home.
Get it up, yeah.
Put all the dates in. Mm-hmm. Plan.
Yeah.
So Ben knows when I
excited.
might be away or
Yeah.
whatever, or when we might, if there's anything that he might come to with me, we can plan for the
Mm-hmm.
kids. That's another point, actually.
What?
One of my big goals
Yeah.
for next year is me and Ben need to make more time for each other.
Nice. Yeah.
So I think I said before, this has been like a tough year for us.
Yeah.
We've actually worked it so well, and
Yeah.
I am really, really proud. And
You should be, like, juggling 3 kids.
yeah.
You've been doing your house renovation as well. Like,
yeah, we've been like finishing house renovations. Like we had the garage converted.
It's a lot of strain, that. And you're growing your business as well. It's a lot of pressure.
And we had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
We had a baby in that time.
Biggest one.
Yeah. Took redundancy, had a baby. But he's...
So much can happen in 12 months, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, this year's gone so fast.
But a lot's happened.
When you look back and reflect. And there was something else I was going to add in, and my brain has just completely forgot it. It might come back in a minute, but it was about... Let's move on, and it'll come back. It definitely will.
Yeah, it will. So I think for me and Ben, we've kind of just been juggling.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been a hard year. He's really supported me. He's been amazing, but it's tough on him.
Yeah.
And he is such a great hands-on dad, but he's working a lot to provide for us so that I can pursue my dreams.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of not forgotten why we're together, but we've just become
Mum and dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And we really need to actually
become nursery.
Yeah, exactly. And we need to nurture our relationship because
that's important.
Yeah, and I think it's hard because we don't like asking. Like, I mean, when he came to the Property Entrepreneur Summit with me in November.
Yeah.
He came to that event. So
is that twice a year, by the way?
Yes. So the next one is in June.
Is that a long way? Not when it started the year?
No, they're doing it in June.
Quite close together then, June and
November, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he came to that event with me. So technically it was work.
Yeah.
We went on a work event.
Yeah.
But we spent the night down there. We went out for dinner in the hotel. That was the first time we'd had a child-free, not even night away. We'd not been on like a date night for 8 months.
Wow.
So we'd not had any time just to eat a meal on our own without kids in 8 months.
It's a long time, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's because we had so many weddings to go to. So you've obviously got to ask family to help with childcare. Then I was away on different courses. So again, Ben was there, but then obviously when he's at work, we had to ask family for childcare. So you don't want to ask for any more help because you don't want to burden people. Mm-hmm. And because of that, then that's obviously we've not had that time together. Yeah. And I think next year we've been together 7 years next year. We need to remember why we are our family is because me and him fell in love. Yeah. We've got to nurture that.
That's cute. Stop it, but cute.
He'll be cringing when he hears that. That's for me. That's
amazing. Yeah. That thing hasn't come back to me. Well, I'm sure it will when we're driving home, and I didn't mention that on the podcast. But no, I think overall 2024 has been really successful for us both, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think 2025 is going to be a really exciting big year. I mean, there's going to be lots of ups and downs, but I think creating this community, having yourself and our support, one another, I think it's just going to be, it's going to be all good.
And the community can hold us accountable.
They can, absolutely.
We can put it out there on here.
Yeah.
What our goals are if we achieve them, because we're not going to achieve them all.
No.
And the challenges that we face.
I think it's okay to know that you're not going to achieve them all.
Yeah.
It's just, we're not excited.
Brilliant. Well, here's to the end of 2024.
Yes.
And here's to the start of the new year, 2025. Look forward to it.
Real Finance have strong relationships with specialist lenders, eager to support entrepreneurs and business, providing unique and competitive financial solutions designed specifically for you. They are hands-on, supporting you developing your plans before seeking financing. They build long-lasting relationships with clients and lenders based on trust, integrity, and swift execution. Contact Real Finance today and let them achieve your financial goals.